She's a fighter, she's a mechanic, she's a two-time Emmy-nominated actor, and at 26 years old, Sydney Sweeney is only getting started. Sydney Sweeney has dreamed of being a successful Hollywood actor since childhood. While that hardly makes her unique, what does set her apart is the relentless single-mindedness with which she approached that goal. Growing up in Spokane, Washington, however, did not present the aspiring young actor with too many opportunities to break into show business. Sweeney was just 12 when a rare window opened in the form of a low-budget zombie movie shooting in her home state. When her parents balked at her desire to audition for a role, she crafted a strategy to convince them. In an interview with the Los Angeles Confidential, Sweeney recalled, "I created a 5-year business plan that basically explained what could happen in my life if they let me do this, the steps I had to take, things I had to work toward. They were like, okay, maybe she's a little serious about this. They let me audition for it, and I ended up booking it." That successful audition led to Sweeney's very first screen credit in the indie ZMD Zombies of Mass Destruction. Looking back on the experience, Sweeney told Backstage that being part of the low-budget horror flick may not have been big-time showbiz, but it sure felt like it to her. "The first day on set, I was beyond happy. I was so much younger, so everything felt so surreal to me." Sydney Sweeney has not only starred in movies, she's also a big movie fan. As she revealed in an interview with InStyle, there's one film that remains her absolute favorite, director James Cameron's 1997 Oscar winner Titanic, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. She shared, "I've always been a huge fan of Leo in Titanic. One, it's based on a true story, and I always love movies and TV shows that are based off of true stories. I also love the love story, and Kate Winslet's amazing. I've basically memorized that film." Meanwhile, she told IMDb that the first movie star she crushed on was actually DiCaprio, something that came into play when she acted alongside him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She admitted, "I had to pinch myself, just take in every moment that I possibly could when I was working with him, trying not to faint." The admiration was mutual when DiCaprio was interviewed by Variety and professed his love for Euphoria.
"I just saw Euphoria, which is amazing. That show's amazing."
Interviewed by The Hollywood Reporter, Sweeney shared her reaction to DiCaprio's praise, gushing, "I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this is so cool. The whole cast was talking about it and freaking out in our group chat. And then Barbie Ferreira, who plays Kat, made a shirt of the quote that Leo said and made it for all of us. So we all have a shirt that says it now." In 2018, Sydney Sweeney was cast in what was arguably her highest-profile role to that point, teenage bride and Gilead true believer Eden Spencer in Hulu's dystopian drama The Handmaid's Tale. As Sweeney told Women's Wear Daily, she was so excited about the opportunity that she cried when she learned she'd been cast. She added, "The stories are amazing, the actors and cinematography are amazing. So not only that, but the movement that it's standing for is also really powerful. To be a part of something like that is incredible." One complication surrounding her role in The Handmaid's Tale, however, was that she was attending college in Los Angeles at the same time she was filming the show in Toronto. Juggling her burgeoning acting career and her studies, she admitted in an interview with Her Campus, "It gets tough sometimes, but I've always actually enjoyed school, so I think that helps." During an appearance on The Drew Barrymore Show, Sweeney recalled how she balanced schoolwork with her acting career while working toward a business degree and filming The Handmaid's Tale at the same time. Thinking all was going well, Sweeney discovered that wasn't the case when one of her professors refused to let her take the final exam because other students had complained that her lack of attendance at classes was unfair to everyone else.
And he didn't let me take the final, and I never got credit.
Euphoria has become known for its gritty realism, and that includes nudity. Interviewed by The Independent, Sydney Sweeney revealed she'd spoken with Euphoria creator Sam Levinson about concerns she's had about her character's scenes. "There are moments where Cassie was supposed to be shirtless, and I would tell Sam, I don't really think that's necessary here. He was like, okay, we don't need it. I've never felt like Sam has pushed it on me or was trying to get a nude scene into an HBO show. When I didn't want to do it, he didn't make me." However, she added that hadn't been the case in some of her past projects, where she didn't feel comfortable enough to voice her concerns, saying, "I've had experiences where I want to go home and scrub myself completely raw because I feel disgusting." After her comments generated headlines, Sweeney clarified her original remarks about Levinson to Teen Vogue, sharing, "I never asked him to cut any scenes. It got twisted and turned, and it became its own beast." According to Sweeney, her intent was to praise Levinson for being respectful of the actors, insisting that he would never make her do something she didn't feel comfortable with, and that the show's nudity was in service of authenticity. She explained, "We all get naked in real life. We show this character's life and what they're going through." When she's not working, Sydney Sweeney indulges in a hobby that she's shared with her social media followers, restoring vintage automobiles. As Sweeney has demonstrated more than once, she's not afraid to get her hands dirty while she personally restores her beloved 1969 Ford Bronco. In addition to her Instagram account, Sweeney has a separate side account on TikTok, Sid's Garage, devoted entirely to chronicling the car's progress. Since her first post in February 2021, right after she purchased the vehicle, she's shared videos of herself removing the car's rear axle, showing off her welding skills to customize the hood latch, and installing the rear suspension. In January 2022, she revealed that her car was finally drivable after nearly a year of work. She told GQ of her restoration project, "I changed over the transmission and I fixed up the front and rear axle from drum brakes to disc brakes. I made it power steering. Everything to make it a safe everyday drive but still look classic." During a visit to the Drew Barrymore show, Sweeney explained her reason for restoring a vintage car, saying, "I always wanted to. I never had the means to be able to do it, and finally dreams came true." Not content to work her magic on just one vintage automobile, in May 2021 she revealed she'd purchased a second vintage vehicle, a baby blue 1976 Ford Mustang that she dubbed Brittany. Restoring vintage autos isn't the only hobby to occupy Sydney Sweeney's spare time. Another is mixed martial arts, and Sweeney is no dilettante. As she told Marie Claire, she began MMA training when she was 14 and entered her first competition at 18, recalling, "It was a grappling competition against all guys a weight category above me, and I got first place. Those guys were probably saying, 'Oh, we didn't want to hurt her,' but they were definitely trying. Everyone broke a sweat." In an interview with The Face, Sweeney admitted she was contemplating turning pro, but said her parents and her agents did not let her. Sweeney further revealed during an appearance on The Kelly Clarkson Show that once she discovered mixed martial arts, she got very into it, and even trained with legendary UFC fighter Ronda Rousey's senseis. However, Sweeney admitted that becoming a successful actor had put a damper on her MMA training.
Unfortunately, you sign a little piece of paper that says you're not to do X, Y, and Z, and I am all of X, Y, and Z.
Regardless of what she'd signed, fans received a glimpse of her considerable MMA skills in a video she shared on Instagram, in which she's seen practicing with a trainer. Not only does she throw a flurry of punches, but the video concludes with Sweeney delivering a powerful kick that sends her sparring partner flying backward. Despite being prohibited from mixed martial arts while filming Euphoria, Sydney Sweeney still managed to get hurt while working on the series. During an appearance on The Late Late Show with James Corden, she revealed that she'd suffered a pretty severe injury on the set, and that one of her co-stars was to blame.
Well, my toe got stepped on during filming, and it just exploded. So I ended up at the ER.
She also explained how the accident took place.
In one of the episodes, a character that's very upset with Cassie right now accidentally stepped on me. It broke my toe in 3 places.
While she was initially reluctant to single out the identity of her foot-stomping co-star, host James Corden eventually got her to reveal the culprit was Alexa Demi, who plays Maddie Perez. Sweeney admitted, "I didn't tell her. I'm so sorry, Alexa."
I'm okay now.
Not only are Sydney Sweeney's social media followers familiar with her adventures in vintage car restoration and mixed martial arts, but they've also met her dog, Tank. Back in 2020, Sweeney threw Tank a birthday party and later took to X, formerly Twitter, to share a photo of her 4-legged friend. As she wrote in the caption, "Tank's been my best friend for almost 6 years now. I rescued her when she was just a lil baby." In a video interview for Elle, Sweeney revealed the story of how Tank came into her life. As she recounted, she and her family spent a few years without a dog after their previous dog died.
We weren't a complete family without a dog, and I really wanted one.
While visiting her great-grandmother, whose passion was rescuing dogs, they were visiting a shelter to play and feed the dogs when Sweeney spied who she called a little tiny baby. Sweeney wound up bringing the puppy home and then telling her parents after the fact. Their reactions did not align.
My mom was furious with me. My dad was like, "Oh, she's so cute."
Sweeney actually came up with the name Tank.
I named her Tank because I wanted her to grow into a tank. I wanted her to be a big, huge dog.
Sydney Sweeney is a firm believer in knowing the characters she portrays inside out, and one strategy she uses to achieve this is by writing intricate backstories for them. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, she shared, "It's these character books that are an interactive timeline journal or diary of their entire lives, from from the day that they're born to the first page of the script. The more she learns about a character in a script, the more she adds to these personal character histories. With TV shows, I'll usually add in more and more every episode as we learn more and more about the character, and I built her entire world, every house she's ever lived in, every neighborhood she might have walked, friends you've never met on a TV show but have made her who she is today. As Sweeney told E! News, she created an intricate backstory when she accepted the role of privileged teenager Olivia in the HBO comedy The White Lotus. She explained, "I go so in-depth in the backstory that it's not like one event that creates the person. So I literally have from the day Olivia was born until the first page of the script, and many, many pages of memories and things and timelines that create and shape and mold her to be who she is." Sydney Sweeney made a huge entry into the world of fashion when in March 2020 she was featured in a new ad campaign for Rihanna's Savage X Fenty lingerie brand. Sweeney announced that she had become a Savage X Fenty brand ambassador in an Instagram post, featuring a photo in which she's attired in daring black lingerie. A similar photo of Sweeney in the same lingerie was also shared by the Savage X Fenty Instagram account with the caption reading, "Welcome to the squad, sis." Sweeney's post racked up more than 100,000 likes in less than half an hour. A few months later, the brand's X account shared more photos of Sweeney, this time attired in pink lingerie. When it comes to her own sense of style, Sweeney admitted that the wardrobe of her Euphoria character has actually had a fair bit of influence, telling in style, "Cassie loves pastel colors, so she wears a lot of baby blues and baby pinks. Baby blue is my favorite color, but I used to never like pink, and after wearing pink as Cassie, I've been adopting pink into my own closet. I found items that I personally would like to wear more of, and I've learned more about my own style now through Cassie." Given Sydney Sweeney's youth, she has nonetheless managed to amass a considerable net worth, estimated at a cool $10 million by Celebrity Net Worth as of this video. While she may not be earning those massive movie star paydays quite yet, she's certainly doing all right. According to Dirt, she purchased her first home for $3 million in November 2021. Now that Sweeney has launched her own production company, 50/50 Films, to produce her own projects, her paychecks will only be getting bigger. That speaks to the acumen of a successful actor who juggled her busy Hollywood career with college, where she worked toward a degree in business. In an interview with LUK, she said, "I love being able to use the business side of my brain, not just the creative. In the first 5 minutes of each meeting, I can see everyone is expecting me to be some dumb blonde girl who doesn't know what she's doing, but I always leave them shocked and impressed." In addition to being business savvy, Sweeney also possesses a serious work ethic, telling Teen Vogue, "I put a lot of work into what I do. I would never want to have my name or company just slapped on something because I want it slapped on. I will be doing the heavy lifting." Sydney Sweeney has given numerous interviews over the years and has shared a lot of herself with fans on social media. When it comes to her love life, however, Sweeney has preferred to remain tight-lipped. As a result, fans would be hard-pressed to find an interview in which she discusses her relationship with Jonathan Davino, to whom she reportedly got engaged in March 2022. While Sweeney didn't make a public announcement, TMZ published photos in which she sported a massive diamond ring on the appropriate finger. So who is Sweeney's fiancé? Davino has been dating Sweeney since 2018 and is 13 years older than the star. Davino, a restaurateur based in Chicago, isn't famous. That fits Sweeney's dating MO, which she laid out in an interview with Cosmopolitan, stating, "I don't date people in the spotlight. I don't date actors or musicians or anyone in entertainment because I can just be normal Sid that way, and it's easiest." When seeking a significant other, she added, "I look for a best friend. I need to be able to be with someone who I can literally hang out with 24/7 and never get sick of, and we laugh every single day." While these two have yet to get hitched, as of this video that is, Sweeney revealed to Variety in August 2023 that she was hoping to start a family. "I always wanted to be a young mom. I love acting, I love the business, I love producing, I love all of it. But what's the point if I'm not getting to share it with a family?" Playing Cassie in Euphoria may have taken Sydney Sweeney's acting career to the next level, but it was White Lotus that demonstrated she could hold her own in the midst of an eclectic, top-shelf cast in a scathingly pointed dark comedy. However, as Sweeney explained in a May 2023 interview with Variety, landing the part was hardly a fait accompli. In fact, producers initially didn't feel she was right for Olivia due to how different the character was from Cassie in Euphoria. She revealed, "So I put myself on tape. I auditioned for White Lotus just like everybody else and had a callback like everybody else. I could get offered roles that are similar to the ones that I've played, but the ones that are different, the ones that surprise people that I do, are the ones that I usually have to fight for." While being cast as Olivia was a triumph, the role did not come without some major apprehensions. She previously told Deadline, "I was so nervous and I was so scared because I've never done comedy quite like that. When I realized that I was nervous going into the audition process, I really wanted it because I knew it was going to be a challenge. And if something challenges me, then I'm going to go for it full force." As Sydney Sweeney's fans are aware, she's quite active on social media and regularly updates her Instagram account with photos of her various exploits. That, however, came back to bite her in August 2022, when she shared photos on Instagram taken at her mom's 60th birthday party, a cowboy-themed surprise hoedown that featured mechanical bull riding and line dancing. In one of the pics, which she later removed, a male party guest is wearing a Blue Lives Matter t-shirt. Meanwhile, as reported by The Wrap, her brother also posted some photos from the party, in which guests are wearing parody red baseball hats featuring the phrase "Make 60 Great Again." All combined, Sweeney found herself hit with backlash and comments from those who conflated everything into an apparent belief that Sweeney was a supporter of ex-President Donald Trump's MAGA movement. As is often the case with social media, the spark of controversy quickly grew into a raging wildfire, to the point that Sweeney herself decided to weigh in on the situation, writing on X, "You guys, this is wild. An innocent celebration for my mom's milestone 60th birthday has turned into an absurd political statement, which was not the intention. Please stop making assumptions." In April 2023, Sydney Sweeney and fellow actor Glenn Powell appeared together at CinemaCon, the annual Las Vegas event in which Hollywood studios trot out the stars of their upcoming projects for the nation's cinema owners. The two were on hand to promote their upcoming romantic comedy, Anyone But You, which had been announced just a few months earlier and would be set for release in December 2023. However, their appearance together raised eyebrows for the way they flirted with each other while reading off a teleprompter. Rumors began swirling when Powell's girlfriend Gigi Paris, along with unfollowing Sweeney, shared a cryptic Instagram post reading, "Know your worth and on to the next." Then, an anonymous source told ET that Powell and Paris had broken up. Suddenly, the internet was bursting with gossip that Sweeney and Powell had become the latest co-stars to hook up on set. A few months later, Sweeney weighed in on the rumors, confirming that she and Powell were not romantically involved off-screen. As she told Variety that August, their flirtatiousness at CinemaCon was simply in service of the movie, explaining, "It's a rom-com. That's what people want. Glenn and I don't really care. We have so much fun together and we respect each other so much. He's such a hard worker and I'm a hard worker. We're excited for the press tour and I literally just left ADR with him. We talk all the time, like, that's really funny." Mixed martial arts isn't the only athletic activity that's attracted Sydney Sweeney over the years. As her Instagram followers are aware, athleticism is seemingly hardwired into her personality, and she's constantly embarking on some sort of challenging physical endeavor. In fact, she's shared Instagram posts in which she's skiing, posing atop a majestic mountain, and golfing at a desert course. In one post, she shared a video of herself being pulled by a motorboat as she expertly water skis. In fact, another post saw her combining her love of water skiing with a little bit of income-generating product placement. Another featured a shot of her rock climbing, along with her caption, "If you need me, I'll be climbing some rocks." While some Hollywood actors may prefer to relax in their downtime by indulging in alcohol and/or drugs, Sweeney prefers to get her heart pumping with physical activity. Of the Hollywood party scene, she said in a 2019 interview with W Magazine, "I'm not one to go out. I'm more of a homebody. I've never done drugs. I've never smoked weed. I don't drink." Despite her youth, Sydney Sweeney has played a surprisingly diverse array of characters. In 2022, Deadline reported she'd signed on to play real-life NSA whistleblower Reality Winner in the HBO biopic Reality, with the film making its debut the following year. For Sweeney, playing Winner presented a new challenge that she hadn't faced before, portraying an actual real-life person, and not just a fictional character created by a screenwriter. She told Little White Lies, "That was one of the reasons I wanted to play Reality, for how different it would be than everything I've done before." As the actor explained, in addition to crafting a compelling performance, she also felt an even greater responsibility weighing on her, stating, "You have to honor the person you're playing as much as possible." In preparation for the role, Sweeney met with Winner, who was then under house arrest via Zoom, sharing, "I wanted to speak to her prior to prepping on this. One, just to know her as a person, but two, to understand her mannerisms and how she speaks." Playing a living, breathing person, she noted, was different from her usual process of creating a character's backstory.
So a lot of it was me learning about her history and her memories, because that's what I love to do with my characters.
In September 2023, Sydney Sweeney made a surprise appearance in what had been, to that point, a top-secret project, a music video for the Rolling Stones' new single, Angry. In fact, Sweeney is front and center in the video for the track, the first single from the group dubbed the world's greatest rock and roll band off their upcoming album, Hackney Diamonds. Wearing black leather, mesh stockings, and ultra-short shorts, Sweeney is seen standing up and dancing in the backseat of a red Mercedes convertible driving down Sunset Boulevard in LA, the street dotted with billboards featuring the Stones in various eras of their lengthy career, who sprang to life while seemingly singing the new song. The video's director, Francois Rousselet, told Rolling Stone that he got the gig when the band loved his pitch, in which a female Hollywood star drove in a car. When casting, several actors were considered until they ultimately contacted Sweeney. As reported by the outlet, she said, "I freaked out, called my family, and brought my mom." As Rousselet explained, he only had a single day to shoot Sweeney's part, and he admitted she made his job a lot easier. Sydney was just going for it. She almost tried to be another member of the Stones, singing along and even playing Keith's parts.